Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the From Season 2 breakdown with me, Tyrone Williams, and my buddy Tamon Kane over to the to the right or the left, yeah, to the right of me over there. How you feeling tonight, Tamon?
I'm feeling pretty good. It was a long work day, but it's over with, and I'm feeling great today. How about you? How you feeling?
You know what, man? I can't complain. We were spoiled with this episode. You know what?
Mm,
You know what? I ain't gonna say spoiled. I'll say we were treated. We was
yeah,
treated to this
I
episode.
do a well
Yeah.
earned treat.
Yeah. Let me. After, especially after a lot of the episodes that we were privy to, and how it was a slow build up.
Hmm.
I was definitely excited and just happy that we got to experience some action,
Yeah,
a little bit of action.
finally, it's been so long, but yeah, I feel excited about that. This episode was called "Belly of the Beast,"
Yes.
and we definitely dived in, literally, literally, to the belly of the beast. And I'm excited on what we came out of this episode. I actually screamed and yelled a few times in this episode. That's some really good jump scares. I'm serious. I'm serious.
Oh yeah, it was definitely, especially like after the few episodes that we had, it was definitely like something to see. Especially with a couple of the revelations. We had like the little cliffhanger the previous episode, with Boyd and the blood, and just what that did to the creature. And this episode, they just kind of flip shit on its head. I'm like, oh, I did not expect this at all. I did not
No,
expect this at all.
I like how it's really suspenseful this season, and they're really playing on like mental health. Everybody's now seems to be affected some type of way by whatever this
Yes.
place is doing to them. And one of my favorite scenes was Junkie Rogue when she was having her nightmare.
Yeah.
When she was having a nightmare, that was I was terrified that entire time. Like when Boy told her run, and she's like, "I can't." I was like, "I get it. I totally get it." I was scared watching that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like it kind of, you put yourself in the shoes of the characters and stuff like that, and see like how would I digest, and how would I move in this
Hmm.
situation, because it can get a little terrifying. It can get a little terrifying. I think one of my favorite scenes of this episode was the very last scene, where Elgin in the bathtub. Yeah.
That was another one that I yelled at. Yes, absolutely.
I was like, "What's going on here? What is going on? What do we got? What is I don't know. I was just like, here we go again. Here we go again. Here's something else that they're not going to talk about. Something
Mhm.
else that they're not going to bring up in a meeting.
Do you think that was real, or was it like a dream or a vision?
I feel like I wanted it to be real, but the way she was moving, I felt like it might not be real. You know,
Hmm.
it
That's how I
might
felt
not be
too.
real. You
I
know,
would love for it to be real, and now we're getting more attacks, like in the daylight, and now the
yeah,
ghosts are being more aggressive. I felt like were after certain people this episode, specifically Elgin.
yeah.
So,
They were definitely on the hunt. They was definitely on the hunt.
mhm,
You know,
mhm.
we got some people in the building. What up, Jaleesa? Thank you for stopping by. We got Mika in the building. Thank you for stopping by. Mika said that
Mika.
bathtub scene was crazy. Jumped at
Yes,
that
absolutely.
one. Yes, we got Michael Anthony in the building. Elgin thirsty
Yo.
behind King Go. We got Kira in the building. Hey, Kira. We got
Hi.
Mika. I think that was real with Elgin. He definitely has a gift, and being underwater may allow him to tap more into it, like hypnosis.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
Yes. We also got a special guest in the building tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Another friend to the show. Lady Shasha, aka Horror Freak, is in the building tonight, ladies and gentlemen. welcome, lady.
Hey, just made it.
Yes,
Yay.
yes, yes. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping
Oh,
by.
no problem. I needed to talk about this week. I
You
needed to
felt
talk about it
it
last
down.
week too, but I didn't get a chance to jump on.
This week touched you deep down.
Um, yeah, it's testing my patience. I mean, I'm enjoying what
Yeah.
I'm seeing, but there's certain things that test my patience.
Oh no,
Oh, is the audio okay? Is it too loud or too low or
oh no,
anything?
no, you're good.
No, you're
You're
good.
Okay.
good. Yeah. Yeah. So how did you feel about the last episode? Because we didn't get to chat it up about, the last week going into
Oh,
this
I
episode, you know.
I have notes on the last episode. Hold on. Okay, these are
Okay.
my notes because my memory is terrible, so I had to write it down from since it's 2 weeks ago. The first thing I
Mhm.
wrote was creepy ballerina. The music sounded like the music you hear when the blue lights come through the wall on Hellraiser, just before the Cenobites come. The music, I don't know whether that was intentional, but that's what that music was giving me. The camera work in the van ride when it was Elgin, Ellis, and Fatima were trying to rush over to the medical center. Like the way the camera kept panning back and forth, that just makes you so anxious. Like I thought that was beautifully done because that really, it almost reminded me of did you guys ever see One Cut of the Dead?
I have it in my queue. I have not seen it yet though.
Oh, it's a Japanese zombie movie, and for the most part, it's single camera. So they do shots like that where the camera person is going back and forth, and it gives you that same feel, intense feel. What else I had? Ellis is less annoying this season. I didn't care for him at all. He's finally kind of being a little bit less annoying. And at times he even spoke very similar to his father. Like when he was walking around the house and trying to get the people at Colony House to do certain tasks, his intonation was like how his father would tell people how to do stuff. And I
Mhm.
think the last thing, no, two things. Boyd not wanting to infect Ellis, and at the same time also not wanting to affect Kelly was Kenny, not Kelly, sorry, was like a tug of war within him because he didn't want to hurt either of his sons, like his natural son and his adoptive son. And he didn't want to hurt either one of them. So I thought that was well done. And then the last thing was Donna giving grandma energy to Ethan. She was
Yeah.
giving that grandmotherly thing. I like those things about it last week.
Oh yes. Yeah, Donna, she been stressed, she been
Hmm.
stressed, but she been handling it. She been handling it, you know. So I give all the glory to Donna. I know
Hmm.
we got Sylvester being here, and he be like, oh, he had a whole thing last week about, Donna, and he just went on a whole rant, and I was just like, man, she's the GOAT.
He's trying to start a faction. We know what's happening.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he is. We got some love from the chat. Hey, Lady Shasha. Mika
Hey,
says
Mika.
hello. Mika says, yes, everyone seeing the ballerina like Christy's girlfriend. That was
Hmm.
weird. Yes, yes. Kira says, hello, Shasha. Good to see you.
Hey,
Uh,
Kira.
Mika says, hey, Tamon, at least we have some people talking about what they're seeing, like Jade and Tabitha.
Hmm.
True.
Absolutely. And since you brought this up, thank you for that. Jade found some new clothes. He looked wonderful this episode. The yellow
Hmm.
really worked for him and the light denim. So he looked great in this episode. And he was he was awesome with Tabitha.
Yeah.
I'm glad people are talking. Let's just keep this momentum because we only have a handful of episodes left.
See, your face just lights up whenever someone mentions Jade, Tamon. Just
It does. It makes you feel special that people can recognize the greatness and that he provides to the show and to the environment. So I'm grateful.
yes, yes. Kira says, it appears the monsters were in fact human. Curious about their origins. Yeah, I
Hmm.
Mm.
what is going on with the whole just the organ thing, especially with the bile being in there. I'm like, is that where it stops at bile? Like, that doesn't get dried up along with
Well,
everything.
they eat people, so I guess their digestive system has to work since they eat
Mhm.
people.
Yeah.
And then for the blood, that's where everything will go anyway at the end.
Mhm.
So after everything is broken down, so they may have a serum.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
should have probably taken some of the blood out of Boyd first, so they can
Mhm.
examine that and before he went on his little, let me kill these creatures spread.
Kenny still doesn't trust it. Kenny's just,
Kenny needs to get his shit together because he got on my nerves this episode. Granted, I wouldn't have stayed down there for the autopsy either. I don't know if I can handle that. However, Kenny was just like, I'm going to leave, throw my gloves. And then
Kenny said, I got
blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, Kenny, please.
Kenny said, I got new pants, my balls dropped, and you can't tell me nothing.
Why is everybody going on Kenny's pants every episode?
Because the first season, he had them floods on for the whole season.
That's true. That's true. You would at least think that somebody in Colony House would be able to sew some extenders, some pantaloon extenders or something.
I don't know if anyone cares, at this point, besides Jade. I don't know how many people care about their appearance in La La Land.
I feel like Fatima does.
Oh yeah, because she always looked like the level of leave-in conditioner. Like, how is she doing this with her hair? How is she doing this?
She's like this boho chic. Empath.
Exactly. And when Ellis isn't stabbed, he's looking.
That's true too. Ellis,
very Lenny Kravitz.
Very Lenny Kravitz.
Trying.
Julie was pretty cool this episode too. She had on like this sweater. I don't know how to describe it, but she was pretty cool too. I like her character is growing.
Who?
Julie.
Oh, Julie. Yeah.
Ellis or whatever his name. The sidekick. Elgin's new girlfriend of the week.
Yeah. It was getting it was getting a little interesting. It's getting a little interesting. Kira says the bile will signify something. I'm sure. Curious to see how they plan to study it and use it. Yeah, it's very. I'm like, what? I feel like it's there for a reason. It's not just there. It's something. Something's connecting. Something's going to connect to something. Mika says, I was with Kenny about not bringing that thing in the house. Yeah, I probably would have been. It's probably not the brightest idea to bring something that we don't know anything about, that, because it could just be playing dead, at this point.
Oh, that would suck, right? That's why those dreams were so heavy. Like when she woke up and went to the room and the body wasn't there, I was like, oh, girl, get out.
Yo.
Get out.
Yo, when I saw that thing standing up, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what is, like, we just changed the game here. Like,
my heart
putting in new rules. Especially like he's one of the main ones, and like they use like the advertisements and stuff like that. So
I wonder if he's gonna get typecast like as always the creepy looking dude, because that creepy smile, he just be like
yeah, like he reminded me a lot of Jerome from Gotham. I don't know if you guys saw Gotham, but the Jerome / Joker character in there.
He's exactly like that, red hair and all.
Said Kira says Kenny rallied at the end. He came back. Yeah.
He needs to walk off. He needs a moment to walk away and like process and deal with himself, and then he can come back.
Yes. Mika says Fatima's curls be popping. Most definitely. Kira says they finally connected and started talking to one another this episode. Jade and Tabitha. Yeah. It was smart. Mika says when she had that dream, I was like, oh no. Now they walk in the sun. Game over. Yeah, it was just I feel like some moments when they happen, it's just like too much to process in the moment. Like I don't even know if my mind would have went, oh shit, it's the sunlight. Why are you awake or whatever? Like my mind would have went like, oh shit, you're upright, walking around. Yeah.
It's the fact that they didn't tie it down. Like, you're gonna bring it in, okay, but why did you not tie it down to the table?
Yeah. It's very, very some choices they definitely made some choices,
I would have at least chopped off his head first.
See, I agree. Something chopped off his head, because if it were me, just to make sure that we weren't we weren't taking like we weren't slipping on the precautions. I would chop
Yeah.
off the head. I would chop off I was going to say the feet, but I think maybe the legs, the arms, because I have no sympathy for this thing at this point.
No, we just need the
Like,
torso, really.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
have it looking like old girl from Return to Living Dead when it had half the body
yeah,
and I would still be like, oh boy, I'll bust it in the damn head.
It was you gotta take those precautions, make sure that you're being safe, which is what Kenny was all about, Tamon.
When Christy made that first incision and the nerves and it jumped, I was done.
Oh,
that's why I'll be like, you know what? Actually, I'm done with this.
I jumped in my seat. Like I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
But shout out to Christy. I feel like she's been the MVP, lately. She's been the MVP, She's definitely doing her part. Kira says, what do you guys think about Fatima sharing she couldn't get pregnant?
Good question.
That flipped me out. I want to know what you guys got to say about that, because that just like threw me off.
I had wondered about all of that during the time that they've been there, because in season 1 they showed how people got down in Colony House. So I was wondering, how come no one's having children if they're doing all this, in Colony House? And for her, she said that she had fertility issues before she got there. But the other people, why they're not having babies, even though they're very active? I know some of them it's an age thing. I saw some elderly people still getting active, but I'm sure people had to wonder, why are no babies being produced? And then suddenly now Fatima's pregnant and she's the person that came there, not being able to have children until she got there. So it's a really weird situation.
It's a miracle. That's what Donna wanted us to believe. It's a miracle.
On the other side of the nightmare is a miracle, or nightmare is not too far from a miracle.
I would have been just like Fatima. Donna, that sounds beautiful. I get it. Trust me, I think that sounds great. But honestly, girl, listen, this is not supposed to happen. It can't medically happen. Who knows when I'm going to birth here? If it has the power to change my fertility, what else did it change about me?
I feel like it's very strange, especially because I forget her name, but the girl who was dancing in the rain when the bus first pulled up, Tilly, she was talking about how she was, or people have like theories that she was sick and stuff like that, and her dancing in the rain kind of like cured that, or being in that place. So I feel like maybe it's like some sort of Twilight Zone, because is it like a bad thing that because they were kind of like talking about it, like, is this a bad thing, or is this does this place only serve up bad, or does it serve up like good and bad, which also opens up other questions, because it's like, well, if you're serving up good and bad, then are they controlling certain things, or like it's very like it's that pregnancy threw me off, because it kind of like changed the game for me.
When you mentioned good and bad, it is kind of true, because I forget the little boy's name. He was seeing the ghost boy that was showing him like positive things. Meanwhile, his mother seeing like these little I don't know what you call them. These mutant children, these zombie children. They're not the same as the little ghost boy that was showing her son around. So I guess some things are positive, some are negative. And then with I always forget his name. Starts with a V. Victor. Somebody had to show him about the trees, or he had to find out about the trees in some type of way. And I guess the trees are kind of positive or negative, depending on where you end up when you go through one. So
yes. Yeah, that is true, because they were talking about, like a tree, you go walking into a tree, you end up in a pit, but then sometimes the tree can be your salvation, in this sense, which that's very, I feel like that may be a little symbolic, on their part. We got Keisha stopping by in the building. Hey Keisha, thanks for stopping by. Michael says, it's no coincidence Victor said changes here are never a good thing.
Correct.
Now what could be like, what bad could come out of like Fatima having a child though? Like, is it
Giving birth
unless well,
to
yeah,
living
birthing a child?
creatures.
Yeah, like
We don't
maybe
know.
she's birthing like a vampire or something.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I was thinking. Giving birth to one of those creatures. That's probably the worst thing. And also being pregnant in this already intense, stressful
Mhm.
situation.
Yes.
That's another thing. The pressure of maybe losing the baby in that situation. Another thing.
Yeah, it's and I'm just thinking, I'm like, all the things that you need, well, at least today, because it's you got a laundry list and a whole industry of things that you can buy like for a pregnant woman and all that, and I'm like, you got bare
Mhm.
minimum in that place, especially like sterile stuff. You taking away the alcohol supply, for your child,
Yeah.
for the
And
birth
they're
of your child.
already rationing food, so they don't want another mouth to
Yes.
feed, even
Yeah.
though they can't control whether another car pulls up tomorrow.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
true.
Which they were talking about Donna and what's his name? Dave or the one who stabbed
Stabby
Ellis.
McStabberson.
Yeah, Stabby.
Oh,
Mhm.
Donna and Stabby were talking. He was like, running out of food. What are you doing? And I I felt Donna, because I'm like, we all been there, especially in the pandemic when everything was locked down, and
Mhm.
you were just in your house and you didn't know what was going on, but you were like, you know what? I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna eat this I'm gonna eat whatever's in the fridge,
Mhm.
and no matter, we didn't know what was gonna happen with the grocery stores and all that stuff, and we were just like, you know what? We not gonna be miserable
Mhm.
with this town,
mhm.
They kinda hinted at it last season when they first ran out of peaches, 'cause, they had asked, "Well, how do you guys get food?" And Don was like, "It just replenishes itself every day." But then suddenly there was no more peaches, 'cause that was Victor's favorite thing, was to get the cans of peaches, and they ran out. So that might have been like a hint that this was gonna happen.
Mm, I didn't even know. Wow, that's a great observation. It's a
Mhm.
really good observation. I wonder if, like, at the end of the season, we're going to see like some fighting, or if someone going to steal the food,
Mm.
and because I don't know, I just feel like we need a little bit more conflict with the humans, with the
Oh, I
human
think we're gonna get it from, the bus man with the anger management problems.
Oh,
Randall.
Randall.
He's
Yes,
just
yes,
angry every day. I mean, I feel him, but it seemed like he was like that before he got into the town.
For
Like, he was
sure.
already angry.
That's not a
yeah.
new behavior at all.
Yeah.
Yes, that leads to Mika's question. What do you think about Randall and Jim together? How do you think he's going to use the drone? Still don't trust Randall.
I trust
Hmm.
Randall. I think he's probably. You guys say Jade is selfish. No, I think it's at the end of the day, Randall will kill everyone for his own survival.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think they're going to use. He's going to. They mentioned using the drone to boost the signal of the satellite so we can get above the trees, so they
I
can get
think Jim
another. Yeah,
Oh,
Jim.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Jim needs to go get, Jade to help him, 'cause Jade technically knows more about these, like, Jim thinks that he knows everything about engineering, but Jade showed last season that he kinda is smarter than Jim in that area, and he needs to go get Jade and talk to him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Jade, I feel like in some areas he needs to step it up, but I do feel like he is a valuable,
Mhm.
asset. He's an asset and as time goes on, I think he'll be an even bigger asset, to the group, you know. So
What I'm appreciating is that we have these different type of team ups going on this season. Like for an example, Jade and Tabitha, but we also now we have Jim and Randall.
Mhm.
We no longer have the traditional Kenny and
Boyd.
Boyd. Thank you,
yes.
Mhm.
Kenny and Boyd, or Boyd and Donna. We're
Mhm.
matching them up different now. Boyd is spending a lot of time with Christy.
Mhm.
Yes.
So I'm loving how they're creating different story arcs and dynamics and relationships. And I know it's just going to break our heart when somebody dies this season, because it feels like it's going to happen for sure.
Mhm.
Somebody important is going to die this season.
Just don't let it be TN, because Kenny's gonna go full rogue.
Take me, take me. That's what he's going to be like.
Full rogue. We can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Uh Keisha says the changes in my theory, it's getting crowded in purgatory, all have to go. All, like, you mean all the people on the bus? Like, what do you mean they all gotta go? Kira says, what do you guys think about Victor sharing with Ethan the trees are losing their leaves? He shared that's never happened and not a good thing. Yeah, I was like, that's very I mean, I know, and he's been there for a while, so he's like, whoa, like the trees are. So, do you think the place is mad again, or that this place is like you can make it mad or can make it happy?
Maybe it has seasons, or maybe it definitely is changing into something else. A lot of things are changing. Fatima being pregnant, the world changing. Maybe it's all tied together.
Yeah, because Victor said that as long as he's been there, the seasons never changed. And it's the first time the leaves were falling. And it's funny how the only people that think to talk to Victor or ask him questions are Jade and Ethan. That's why I keep saying that Jim is not as smart as he thinks he is, because he's a little bit too narrowly focused. He doesn't talk to people. He doesn't ask the right questions, and he doesn't listen. Like if he even talked to his wife, she probably would tell him about the visions. If he talked to Jade, he probably would tell him about he's got to listen. He doesn't talk to his son. Everybody around him has all these different experiences that he's so focused on. I heard voices on the radio that he's not hearing anything else.
He has this alpha male attitude that could mess around and get people killed, because like he also has the ability to unify too. That's the sad thing. He has the ability to unify, but he won't do that.
He did get people killed when he was trying to go down in the house to find Tabitha, and she wasn't even down there. And
that's what Randall said.
Died trying to help him out of there. So I think it was two guys that died. Yeah.
He doesn't accept responsibility either. Because Tabitha ate him up in this episode, and so did Randall. They called him out every time.
Actually, I made a list of people who need to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting there watching this, I was like, this could all be not all solved, but they'd be a lot further along if they just had a meeting. So I wrote that Jade needs to tell Boyd, Donna, Kenny, Jim, and Tabitha about his visions. He already talked to Tabitha about it. Tabitha needs to tell the same people about her visions of what she saw in the caves. Jade and Tabitha did talk to each other, so that's good. Boyd needs to tell them about what happened in the woods with Sarah and the music box. Jim needs to tell them about the voice on the radio, because he only told Donna and Boyd about the voice on the radio. I'm not sure if Jade heard it. He might have heard it. I can't remember. Elgin needs to tell the whole group of people about the premonitions he had instead of just Julie.
Yes.
Who else? And Mari needs to tell them about the freaky dream with the music box, because several people have seen the music box. Tabitha saw the music box and Boyd saw the music box. So they need to have what I call a weird shit meeting, where they all talk about all the weird shit that they've experienced and try to make some type of sense out of it.
I am for it. I'm 100% for a weird shit meeting.
We've been saying this, we need to have a town hall, a weird shit meeting. Like, we need to somebody needs to have a gavel, and we need to start having confessions and start talking about shit. Like, nobody's dealing with anything, literally. You guys are so comfortable either trying to solve it yourselves independently without using your resources, or you're just complacent with being in this place and you're just gonna live your life.
See, they need a therapist. They need a therapist on staff, because a therapist would stress the importance of communication and communicating with each other. So we could, get this thing sewed up.
They could write it into the bus driver's character, so she has something to do, and also her personality type and her job makes her seem like a person that's about organization. So I feel like that would be a good character arc for her to look at everything going on and saying, listen, this is how we got to organize a little bit better. And that would probably, what they could do is show Donna kind of breaking down just a little bit from all the stress of everything being on her shoulders, and then her stepping in saying, listen, I got you for a minute because you've been doing this for a year. Let me get these people together for a little while and you rest. I could see them I could actually picture them at that bar having a drink together and talking.
Yeah. Shout out to Bacta for getting new clothes this episode. You look good, girl. It was nice to see you all cleaned up. out of your uniform.
Give her something. Give her some more dialogue because
Yes.
they need to give her
And them
something.
other two sisters, there's two sisters in that house. One has braids. I can't remember what the other one. They don't have any lines. Let them get their SAG card. Give them a line.
Yeah, I think Donna
Yeah.
told one of them to hold it down. I was like, well, what's her name? What's her name? What's
She doesn't know.
what's going on here? What's going on here?
We've been having this conversation about experiment versus purgatory since the beginning,
Yes.
probably forever. And when I'm leaning more towards the experiment side if I had to choose between the two. But it makes me think if they can make Fatima pregnant, or have the ability to become pregnant, rather. What is the extent of their technology? What year are we actually in? All these different things. Because you know what, we can say that all their past was all made up, and we're in the future. We gave you these fake memories, these fake relationships, and put you in this experiment. We could technically do that.
Did anyone have a cell phone on the series?
Oh, Ethan had one on the way there, but they don't have any reception.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Cell phones. I didn't even, but I'm sure wherever they are, this shit isn't getting a signal,
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not in this
had a drone,
decade.
so that's current day. Yeah.
Oh, true.
Now,
I never remember his name. He's just gonna be Angry Buster.
Well, yeah, he was like, oh, he wants to get back for his nephew, and I was like, okay, well, maybe they're going to give him a softer side, similar to what they did with Jade, and try and make us turn around for him. But I don't know. I think he may be the lovable asshole. He may still turn on people and still cause turmoil, but I feel like he may do an act that may quote unquote redeem himself. Maybe he's the one that's going to die at the end of the season.
Or he might die trying to save Ethan because that's the other little boy that might remind him of his nephew. And
yeah.
That reminds me, that family needs to have a family meeting just within themselves, because the fact that Tabitha didn't discuss with her husband about those blocks that she saw in the tunnels, and her son is building the blocks the same way she saw them in the tunnels. How y'all not talk? Y'all supposed to be a family and you're not even talking to each other.
This episode highlighted what you just said so much, because they're not. They're disjointed. It's Tabitha and her kids, and Jim thinking he's in charge of this family when everybody's doing what the hell they want to do. Tabitha said, we can't keep them in the house. It's not this type of world anymore. If they want to go up the street to the fucking Colony House, let them go.
Yeah,
they don't communicate. He doesn't listen.
And I got it. I was like, all right, Jim, you don't want them at Colony House or whatever. But I'm like, at this point, it's not the party that it used to be. It's not the party that it used to be. So we have to start stripping down certain constructs and certain ideas that we may have held on to in civilization, or when you first pulled up, because you've seen way more stuff and know way more stuff and have way more questions than you do now than when you did the first season, so it needs to be all laid out on the table, and like you guys said, you got you got Jim and Tabitha who could easily talk to each other, and just it's the same family. It's not like, oh, it's other people in the house. You're the same family, and you guys don't talk about this.
They should have given Jim a different occupation, because he was an engineer, which is a science. How do you work in a science and don't understand collecting data or doing research? And he didn't collect any, to this date, he has not went around and really talked to people that's been there for a year to collect information and then formulate a plan. It's all, I'm just going to come up with it without any, extra information from the people that have been here for a year.
He probably was mechanical. So that makes sense. They just about the work.
Whereas Jade probably was more on the invention side in his tech company.
Yeah. He's probably software. So that's all about logical thinking and patterns and programming. What is the wife? Not the wife. What does Tabitha do?
I don't know. I don't think they ever said.
Yeah, that is strange. I don't think they've said that either. I
The
don't
You can
think
most
see
they
they.
it.
said was that she lost a child. Like I don't know whether the baby that she lost was the youngest child that she had, or whether she had a baby before the 2 children she has now.
Oh, I'm gonna say the probably the youngest
Hmm.
is to be so, and not to put a limitation on grief, but
Mhm.
how fresh it is and how much it impacted the marriage. Even though
Yeah.
I would assume would be the most recent one.
Mhm.
Yes, yes. Keisha still thinks 2 to 5 people need to go. Slaughter. We still got the season finale to go, Keisha. So I'm sure they gonna load them up at the end. They're gonna load them up at the end.
Who would be your 3 people if you had to kill off at the end of the season?
Ooh.
Um, Ellis, so I can see Fatima get, like, even stronger. I want her to be a bad bitch. I wanna see her like, I like the little, everything's sunshine and rays hippie girl, but I wanna see a little bit of turn there. I think, I don't think everyone that goes has to be, like, a well-known character, because I think, Heroin Bay in the, hospital thing, she could go
Jackie
too.
Road.
She can go. And Sarah, who everyone forgets is around. She's still, I guess, she in the basement of the church
Oh,
still.
Sarah. Okay, so you got Ellis, Sarah, and Ellis, Sarah.
I don't know. Mari, is her name Marie or Marie?
Oh,
Yeah,
Junkie
Marie.
Road. That's it. Junkie Road. Okay.
Junkie.
What about you, Ty? Who are your 3?
I would have to go with probably Ellis, because I feel like he's still disposable for me.
Yeah.
And honestly, Fatima, just get the family out of here.
Mhm.
Get a 1-2 combo. Sorry about the baby, but it is what it is.
Goosebumps.
And
Mhm.
then number 3 would have to be Randall.
Mhm.
I feel, but in a sacrificial role to
Mhm.
where he redeems himself at the end. I wouldn't mind seeing that storyline. Just don't kill off the bus driver. You could kill off
Yeah.
the passengers. Just don't kill off the bus driver.
All right,
And don't
Bob.
kill off Kenny's mother, because she's so sweet. She don't do anything but try to help people. If they kill her off, they just want to break hearts.
Yeah.
I'm like, that lady don't do nothing to nobody but help.
You save her for like the finale of the season,
Yeah.
like the show. You kill her at the end of the show.
Mhm.
My 3, Junkie Rogue is number 1.
Mhm.
The more you guys keep saying Ellis, I'm like, I'm trying to like think alternative, like who else would I pick? But I always circle back to like Ellis made me, but because I like him. But Junkie Rogue, Randall, Ellis, Ellis,
Yeah, Ellis got it bad. He just got stabbed, but
or
he
Kenny.
But
Oh
that's
wait,
part of, or Kenny, yeah.
or Kenny.
Oh, his mother, that would break his mother's heart. She just lost her
damn,
husband.
Kenny though.
Yeah, I think Ellis doesn't have opportunity to be what we need him to be because Kenny was trying to be his replacement on the low. So if we take out Kenny, maybe now Ellis will be a father. He'll be the deputy.
No, but he last season, all he did, like, Ellis is all he does is get hurt. Like last season, Fatima had to go out there and save him because he jumped off the roof and hurt his ankle. He's just he's just not built for this.
I agree, and for Kenny to go, it's just I don't know. I feel like it's a little harsh. I feel like it's a little harsh.
Mhm.
We're
Right.
we may be jumping the gun a little bit here if for putting Kenny's name into the hat. I feel
What?
like yeah, I
No, he's
feel
on his
like
arc. He's on his arc where he's getting tougher and tougher each
yeah.
episode.
Yep. And Ellis didn't get a chance to get that. So
Mhm.
I guess it's Kenny's turn. You're one, Kenny.
Kang, thank you for stopping by. It says Jim thinks he's figured it out, but even Ethan said each person does their part of the quest. No one
Mhm.
person is the whole quest.
Mhm.
True. True. Very
From the
true.
mouths of babes comes the truth.
Yes, yes. Kira says, as a
Completely different.
reminder, all these changes started after their attempt to reach the outside world with that antenna.
Mm.
Yeah.
True.
So they still pissed off from last season. You know, the powers that be. The powers that be.
Now, what
Um,
do you think that thing was? Or am I jumping too far forward if we talk about Elgin in the bathtub?
oh no, not at all. We
We started
crisscrossing,
there.
jumping all over. Yeah.
When Elgin tried to do, I don't know whether it was like sensory deprivation or what, to try to remember his visions or whatever in the bathtub, that creature that came up to him or tried to push him in the water didn't look like the other creatures that have been attacking. Which she kind of looked like, if you ever seen Life Force, like how the people look when the space vampires suck their life force out, that's how she looked. Y'all haven't seen
Yeah.
Life Force. I've seen
Life.
blank faces.
Yeah. I'm like, I have to now. I have to check out
Let
Life
me see if
Force.
I'll see if I
You
can
know.
find a picture. Hold on.
Yeah. Let me check out
Michael, really?
Life Force real quick.
Yeah, it's Toby Hooper from 1985. Let me see if I find a picture of. This is what you look like after the space vampires suck your essence out. That's what she
Okay.
kind of looked like.
She did.
So it's you said 1985?
1985. This is what the cover looks like. It comes from a
Oh.
book called I think the book was called The Space Vampires, and it's features the main vampire. She walks around the movie like naked like 95% of the time. Like, she's just,
Oh wow.
but she sucks people's life out of them. Patrick Stewart is in it. I can't remember who else
Mm.
is in it.
Let me
It's kind of
see.
it's kind of less. It's on Tubi. It's free on Tubi. It's kind of lesser known because I think what happened with it's a great movie, but I think they didn't have the best budget for effects, and I think that's why it doesn't get as much play as a lot of other Toby Hooper movies. Like and I'm still giving him credit for at least half of Poltergeist. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people try
Yeah.
to say that Steven Spielberg, who was the producer, and I could almost tell, like, the moments in Poltergeist where it was Steven Spielberg kinda doing things, but I could also tell when it was Toby Hooper, so I give him his credit. Especially if you've seen Life Force, you gotta give him his credit.
Oh yeah, Life Force. Life Force was definitely let me see if there's because I
Yeah,
did.
Mika saw it. She says she did look like a force that was drained off all their blood, Life Force. Yep.
Yeah, it's because I just Googled it and it looks pretty sick. Looks pretty
Mhm.
sick. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to drag that over there. But it looks like a wild movie. I gotta definitely add that onto my list. Definitely add that onto my list. Um Kira says oh yeah. Uh Mika she says, yeah, Jim was pissing me off when Tabitha was trying to speak to him. When he
Mhm.
said, don't contradict me in front of the children, I was like, you need to watch your tone. Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah, family drama. Family
Mhm.
drama, It's just good old family drama. Um, and yeah, of course, town meeting. Everybody is pro the weekly weird shit meeting.
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
'Cause who knows how many people in the colony house and seen some weird shit that could help them solve the problem they're in.
It's crazy. It's
Mhm.
definitely crazy. We got Keisha says Jim needs to die. Tabitha won't miss him that much.
He's already
Uh,
gone.
The
uh,
other thing this show could stand to do is flesh out the other characters. Like, what's the purpose of having all these extra people at Colony House and you don't flesh them out? You could do that. You don't have to concentrate on just this small amount of characters. We learned that with Game of Thrones. How many characters are there in Game of Thrones? There's like dozens of characters in Game of Thrones, and we got
They're
to learn
background
about them.
players.
Yeah,
We'll pull somebody when we need someone.
yeah, but they're not in like a huge ass realm. There's like 25 people there. They can stand to flesh the people out.
yeah, that's why I'm like, you could have introduced less people if you weren't going to
Mhm.
like go in this much because every episode I'm like, well, when are we gonna like diving deep to the people on the bus. You know,
Yeah.
like the girl who was shit, I forgot her name again. The one who was dancing in the rain.
Mhm.
Telling.
She yeah, Tilly. Like I would love to learn some backstory with her. Like
Yeah.
see what's going on with her. The bus driver, like Bacta.
Mhm.
I would love to see some backstory with Bacta. Like what's going on here.
I'm a little different. I like that we are contained with our sort of set players, and we intentionally pull people that we need for like background scenes, or towards the end when we start giving people one or two lines just so we can kill them later on. I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. Now I do wish that Tilly and Bacta, like the third tier of characters
Mhm.
that they introduced to us, will get more energy. But Randall seems to be getting the energy out of that whole
And
batch of people.
and Mari.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
Junkie Road. Yes, they're getting the
I laugh every time he says it because the white streak in his hair.
because it's Junkie
Mhm.
Road. Yeah, so like I wish that Bacta, really I want Bacta to step up and get some
Yeah.
shine.
Yeah.
And I hope that she
Yeah.
can like organize it and maybe surprise us and not become the bartender, but maybe becomes, just another force in
Yes.
town. Who
Yeah.
knows what her she was getting her degree, who knows what it was in,
Mhm.
she could be a psychologist, we never know what.
Yeah, that would be really great if it turns out her degree was in psychology. It would
Yeah.
be even better if her degree turned out to be in a science and nobody even asked her. Like she might
They
have
could.
electrical engineering and nobody asked her because Jim's running
Facts.
around thinking he knows everything.
Facts. Bacta, I feel like Bacta definitely has something to bring to the table.
Mhm.
It just hasn't been like revealed yet. I don't know when exactly they're gonna open up the door for that. Kira says Bacta may be able to be a positive voice and aiding voice. She definitely wants accountability regarding Stabby. Step to Donna a bit.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's definitely gotta because you can't just have people running wild. You can't. You gotta have some sort of order. You know, and I think Donna is being nice.
Mhm.
Because I would have threw him in the chokey. Or the box. I threw him in the
After we
box.
slapped the shit out of him a few times,
Mhm.
Yeah.
he definitely would have went somewhere.
Yeah, because no way you stand in the house and you just stab somebody, regardless if it was an accident or not. Like you wasn't chopping vegetables, like
Because if I was Fatima, as soon as I made sure Ellis was asleep, I would make my way to his room that he was hiding in, or wherever she kept him. And I probably wouldn't kill him, but he would definitely have a few things said to him and probably slapped a few times for sure.
facts,
He probably
facts.
hit her back now that I think about it. So,
You hold them down and have a blanket party.
yeah.
I've never heard of that one. A
Oh,
blanket party.
a blanket party is when a group of people sneak up on one person while they sleep, and like four people hold the blanket down on them so they can't move, and then the fifth person puts like a bar of soap in a sock and then
Yeah.
beats them with.
What movie was that? I've seen that in a private school or army school for
Mhm.
boys. He was on a top bunk, or I can't remember, but I've seen that in a movie before. But that's a thing, yeah.
Mhm.
Beat the shit
Wow.
out of him, party.
Yeah.
Damn.
He deserves it.
Well, he may be well, yeah, he does deserve it. I was gonna say he may be redeemable, but I think he's gonna be
Yeah.
canon for the fodder,
The redeemed
Mhm.
can get their ass beat.
Got
They're gonna do a Last of Us where whoever is a character that didn't have any speaking lines, this episode you get speaking lines, then you get killed. That's what
pretty
they did.
much.
The Last of Us, they kept on introducing, hey, Joel and so meet this person. Oh, they're dead by the end of the episode. Joel and so meet this person. They dead by the end of the episode.
It's really The Last of Us,
Yes, the Last of Us.
Okay,
Yes.
I haven't seen that yet, but
Oh, sorry, spoiler alert.
Wait, you haven't played the game? You haven't played the game, man?
oh, I played the second one. I played the
Yeah.
second game.
Yeah. The first one was good too. It was The Last of Us, a great series.
Mhm.
Shout out to Naughty Dog.
People are crying and everything, and literally, it's terrifying too.
Oh, I
Mhm,
was. I definitely was. I definitely teared up with the first game.
mhm.
Oh, and yeah, I can see it. I've
But
seen the YouTube
oh yeah.
full
Oh
story
yeah.
of the first game before I played the second one.
It got heavy.
If you get a chance to watch the series, watch the series. It's really good. Especially like episode 3, I watched that about 3 times because just the acting is so good. And that's
Okay.
the one episode where there wasn't any creatures in the episode. It was just mostly a character study, but it was so good. I wouldn't be surprised if they get an Emmy for that.
Oh wow. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, possibly. Shit, if what is it? The White Lotus and Succession doesn't take it
Mhm.
all.
Oh, Succession, that is my show. I tried to get into White Lotus, but I got to, like, episode 3, and it just doesn't capture me like the way like Succession.
See, I
I
haven't
miss
started
it.
Succession, but I finished
Same.
both seasons of the White Lotus, and it was
Oh,
just like I can see like it starts off a little slow, but once it
mhm.
starts get to going, it's just like it's
So I'm gonna
just
get back into it.
ratchetness.
Have either of
Yeah.
you seen, what's it called? Yellow Jackets? I just
I
started it,
love
but I'm
Yellow
not.
Jackets.
I
Is
haven't
it good?
seen season 2 yet. Season
Is
I'm
it
a
1
good?
is
couple
It's
amazing.
amazing. Mm-hmm.
on episode 4, and I'm, like, waiting to see if it picks up steam. I'm liking how it bounces back and forth between the
Oh
90s
yeah.
and now.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Speaking
Yeah.
of character study, that's what that entire show is, basically.
mm,
Even overarching plot points.
mhm.
So
Yes.
yeah, keep going. I finished season 2 already. I think you'll
Oh,
enjoy it.
good.
Yes. Yes.
And
Definitely
we
got it.
we really don't know what the genre is yet. So
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out, like, is this horror? Is it mystery? Is it what is Yellow Jackets?
It's
And
everything.
it
I
is
could really
everything.
relate because I was on a sports team in high school and in college, and the camaraderie to, well, people in general. I was gonna say women, but people in general in sports teams, it's like it's different. They're more like your brothers and sisters than just
Yep,
school friends.
absolutely. Do you think that situation is more brutal with all girls or all boys?
I don't know because I would say more so girls only because I did play on one team I played on in high school. I played on a boys volleyball team, and they seem to have way less issues than the girls teams. Because a
I've
lot of
been to
times,
girls.
if they have an issue, they might just have like a fist fight, and it'll be fine. They'll be fine with each other the next week. Whereas if with girls, if they didn't like you in 8th grade, 5 years later, when they're a senior in high school, they still don't like you. It's like you still mad at me for something I said in second period in 8th grade. Like, it's crazy.
Yep. I think
Yeah.
it'll be girls too. Sidebar. I
Mhm.
just want to. I always ask people who watch that show that same question. So.
Mhm.
Now we got Michael. He says it seems like they're building up Donna to die. She's having a
Mm.
lot of heart to hearts lately. They
Yeah.
better not. They better not. Keisha said Aunt Donna may die. I miss Large Marge.
Mhm.
You know what? Her dying will make room for other characters to shine, honestly.
Yeah.
Because even if she dies, we can keep Ellis and Fatima, and they will run Colony House.
But who the hell are we rooting for? Like, who's the top dog if Donna dies, man? Like, who are we rooting for?
I don't want to say it because I'll get slandered. But
Who are we rooting for? Jade? Like,
of
come
course,
on now.
who else? Of course, Tabitha. Yeah. No, Victor. We're rooting for Victor and Easter because they're the
I vote for the ghost of Father Kotri.
Isn't he
What?
more intriguing than some of the other characters?
Yes.
Because
Like,
y'all
why
know
did he have to go?
if they get Jade out of, I mean, if they get Donna out of here, they're
Mhm.
going to give, or they no, not Donna. If they get Kenny out of here, he's going to be a ghost. Like somebody's going
Mhm.
to be talking to Kenny's ghost. Like they still going to give him, a role. And I'm like, I'd rather see him alive than Kenny walking around as a ghost. I think he'd be a little bit more annoying as a ghost.
Yeah.
I think that's the best question. Which ghost would you prefer? Like, I don't want to see Ellis' ghost, so don't kill him. I don't want to see his ghost come back to teach me
So
nothing.
I vote for Donna Ghost because if you gotta have somebody to converse with and get pointers from, I would say Donna.
Or Boyd.
Or Boyd. Yeah,
But
Boyd.
you don't do
Ghost.
that to like the season before the end. Like that's the finale, Boyd Dolly. So the final season needs a ghost.
Oh, the final episode opens up and Ellis is walking down the street with the bell,
Oh.
We got a new Donna at that point. We got a new Boyd at that point. They've completely changed the dynamics of who they are. Fatima's important too. Yeah, that would be nice.
It's getting a little thick. Mika says again, I think the box is obsolete now because Boyd didn't use it for Sarah. they can't choose and select now who goes in.
Correct.
I think the box still may have some sort of value, especially like if somebody does, unless you're just outright killing people or just pushing them outside, just being like, screw the box, I'm gonna just push your ass outside, like get out.
I think the power and the symbolism of the boxer was lost once he allowed someone to not go into it. So every time you want to do something, we're going to go to the box. No, I'm not, because you know why, and she hasn't proved her usefulness because we barely see her.
Yeah.
Until she dies, then. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's if she dies. We'll see how that rolls. Because it's so many different ways that they could spin this, especially with the revelations that they're trying to come up with. Like even with Kenny asking about like where did the worms go? When they went inside the creature. Which was a good question because I was thinking where the hell did the worms go? And how does that intertwine with Boyd being able to like kill this monster, because obviously it wasn't dead, it rose back up, so
And I
it's
want
like,
them to have a meeting just so they could ask each other, what the hell is the ballerina and why do we keep seeing her?
You know what? Randall posed a big question that made me look at him actually sideways. Him and Jim were talking. He was like, if this is an experiment, wouldn't someone here be a part of it? Like, how do they monitor
That's
it like
true.
that? And I looked at him like, either that's to move the plot forward, but it's also like you're a part of it, so they're doing that kind of story building. I don't know, but it made me look at him sideways.
I thought it was a good point,
It's a
though,
great
because
point.
yeah.
who do you think would be a part of would be in on it, like in on
Randall.
whatever's going? Randall. Interesting. What about you, Late Shasha?
I don't know. Well, know what? The wild card would be Victor. It could be a Kaiser Sose thing where ain't nothing wrong with Victor. He's just playing that part, that role.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now tell me you guys know who Kaiser Sosa is.
Yes.
Okay. Because I feel like every reference I've made tonight is too old.
No.
I'm like Captain America. I only get
But no, I said that, and that would be so interesting if he's been like the manipulate the entire time. That will blow our minds. Maybe not so much anymore, but still, like, Victor.
No, Victor, it would be heavy, especially a lot of things would make sense, as far as just how he's chosen to operate, throughout the first season. And now I think if I had to choose someone to be in on it, it probably would be honestly, it probably would be Jade. I feel like, and not to throw Jade under the bus, because I feel like I just
another
been
good
going
writing
in.
choice would be make it Kenny's mother and just have her suddenly one day she speaks perfect English. She's been taking this whole time.
Oh, that would be trippy. Or if she just started speaking like French, or or what would even be wilder is if Kenny's mom started talking to Randall in French.
Yeah.
That would be wild.
Right before she kills him.
I mean, if that's a part of their plan, then that's a part of their plan. We don't know how the inner workings of everything are gonna pan out.
So if they reveal that to the audience but not the characters in the story, how long do you want the characters not to know this is a thing?
3 episodes max.
3. Okay, 3.
Yeah.
Not the whole season.
No, because I'm gonna be irritated, because I'm already irritated with certain people, that don't communicate, and who I feel just are making dumb decisions. But I feel like that would add to it, Yeah.
To your theory about Jade, they did enter the town at the same time, which they said that was a new thing and a different thing. And
Yeah.
two cars, they got in a car wreck and they both ended up there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it may be a thing where Jade, his memory is wiped, and he doesn't necessarily, or he's
Mm-hmm.
got false memories,
Mm-hmm.
basically. Um, so, and then you get a sleeper cell that walks in and then tries to wake Jade up, which would fall into the visions and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe even
You know.
Elgin. Maybe he was an employee at the company that's doing this and he saw too much and they put him on these bugs. And right before, he got there, he sort of remembered as much as he could.
Oh, I
Well,
thought he
now,
would be a teenager. He looked like maybe he's supposed to be between 17 and 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Because he said he was going to see his grandmother also on the bus.
Wait,
Yeah.
that makes more sense because like with Elgin, because when he first pulled up, he seemed to know what was gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen. He was like, "Oh no," so it's like, damn, I'm in the experiment. You
Yes.
assholes,
Yes.
somebody done pushed him or injected him, and now he's in the experiment.
you know, maybe he's a janitor at the company, not to do anything
Hmm.
about that, but maybe he's a janitor, something where it's believable for someone. If you look at him, he could have that position. An intern.
An intern, yeah.
An intern. He could be an intern. He saw too much, and they're like, "Boop, you're going in there too." And then he realized, "Oh shit, I'm here." And
Hmm.
then, his body reacted. He threw up.
Hmm.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm very interested to see like where they're gonna take his character because I feel like they've been unraveling things slowly, a little by little by little. But I do feel like that last scene, like I don't know. I hope it's something real. But then again, I feel like from the animation, it looks like it was something else. But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it would be dope if it was real and that's how he came into like some sort of power or whatever similar to Boyd, and we could have some sort of like fight back, because how many episodes is it going to take for them to try and synthesize whatever Boyd's blood has in it and all this shit? Like I
They don't
feel.
have the technology to do certain things, so they're going to have to literally put bullets in this bio, soak it, get some wooden stakes, soak the end of it. You have to try to kill these things, weaponize the bio, because they don't have technology, I don't think, to do a chemical reaction to it,
But
or
you know
even
what?
to test it.
They could just like, and this would be like some dark crap or whatever, but they could just tie Boyd up, and just cut him, make cuts, and siphon the blood, especially if they know that he's the only his blood is the only thing that they can fight back with. Because I feel like if it was anybody else but Boyd, like I feel like if it was Randall or Stabby or some random person in Colony House or the bus
Mm-hmm.
who was being an asshole, they wouldn't have any problem with tying that person up and just siphoning the blood from them and utilizing it in a certain way, in worst case scenario situations.
Hmm.
That's if the magic is still in Blood's Boy, still and
In Blood's
still in.
Boyd, yeah. In Boyd's blood. I understood you.
Yeah,
Thank
we got
y'all.
you.
Thank everyone for for following. Yes. So if the magic is still in Boyd's blood, then yeah, we can test his blood. But I think the answer's in the vial.
Yes.
Um, I I'm trying to think from a scientific perspective, what could we possibly do that could test it besides like putting it on weapons and trying to scratch them again. And then how
Yes.
much of this vial do we have left? Is it going to do things, or does it do something else? It has to do something. It
To
could change
answer
it.
what Mika said, she said they will have to run up to a vampire and shoot them with bile real quick to test it. Not sure how that will work out though. They could use something that's more long range, like a bow and arrow
A
or a
crossbow.
slingshot.
Yes.
I mean, Boyd was right in front of it,
Hmm.
so
Yeah, I guess
But I
it's
would
it.
do a slingshot from the window. Just pull it back.
In my head, I
I'll get
pictured
close.
like
Mhm.
arrows soaked in the bio.
Yeah,
Boom.
arrows, that would work
Yeah,
too, a bow and arrow.
yeah.
But it's like if we know that the bile could be weaponized, if we know that, then is that going to cause for them to capture more of these things,
Hmm.
and tie them up and just have them stockpiled in the back, have a jar of
Yes,
bile on call,
that's exactly what's going to happen. We have crews that hunt at night. We need as much bile as possible until we think that we have enough, and we can go on a little walk, a little scavenger hunt overnight.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I agree, especially like I could see it like Dawn of the Dead style, where they were on top of the roof and stuff like that,
Hmm.
because we did talk about before how the things can float, but
Mhm.
we haven't necessarily seen it from a certain angle, whether they can how it would look, are they slow? Because if they're slow to walk, are they slow to float? So because that would be wild. Like you're running from something that's floating, but it's slow, so you can still get away from it. That'd be a wild
Mm,
scene.
yeah.
That'd be a wild scene.
That's true. When she says,
Because
go ahead.
yeah, Mika said, I want to know what monsters are worse than the vampires. They keep saying they aren't the worst things there. Yeah.
Yeah, and when Boyd was in the
Um,
forest, there was like a giant spider type thing that had made that web around his tent, so
mhm. The next episode is titled "Forest for the Trees."
mm,
And it has one sentence about it. And in the pursuit of the truth about the town, Jim and Randall hatch a dangerous plan. Meanwhile, a new form of terror is brewing. So
mhm.
we may get our answer that there's something else going on in the city.
And
All I say
also
is,
the banshee lady that Elgin saw in the water, like, when he was underwater. That was
oh
not one of those
yeah,
Yeah.
creatures, that was something else.
Yeah.
this is eight.
Yeah.
Next week will be 8 out of the 10 episodes. So we have to like.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we gotta get it going. Get it
Not enough has
going.
happened this season at all.
How many seasons did, Lost have?
A lot.
Like 10.
Oh,
I think
'cause this
10.
this is the same writer from Lost, I think.
And Lost, think
They
about
had
this.
6.
Like this only got what 10 episodes per season,
Mhm.
but Lost
Yeah,
had fucking 20 something per season, or however
They
much
mhm,
they
had
had.
24 episodes per season.
yeah,
In
Lord.
the last season of Lost, they had 18.
mhm,
So that one of their seasons is 2 of ours.
yeah,
So damn. But we have 2 episodes, and honestly, y'all, not enough has happened this season. I mean, it was
mhm,
a lot of this stuff could have probably been done in the first 5 episodes, 4 to 5
mhm,
episodes.
Really though. And I don't know if it was the budget, but I do feel like because it's on MGM Plus,
mhm,
they're reeling certain things in, so to speak. But I'm gonna give it a shot. Like we had me and Timon talked about before. Like
mhm,
we're still gonna see it through. Like we're still gonna see the
Oh yeah.
season through.
yeah, oh,
Uh
definitely.
but I feel like if they don't they have to pay off for me with this finale in order for me to invest in season three, you know.
I think I got
Because
spoiled from, Wanda and Vision. Did you see that one?
Hmm.
yes.
How much
Yes.
they told in 30 to 40 minutes per episode.
Yes.
It was so much, and now I feel like, "Oh, this is slow compared to that."
It is.
Mhm,
That's a
Yeah.
great story because you can tell a full season in 6 episodes.
mhm,
Yeah, because realistically, like something like this could have been. I feel like it needed like a BBC season, where it's 3 episodes. Each episode is like an hour and a half,
mhm.
Yeah.
and you could tell like a very tight story, and give us some action every episode, and give us some suspense,
Mhm.
you know.
Get rid of some of these characters. And
Yeah.
that's why it's great to focus. And they need to focus on getting out of this place and not
Mhm.
just dealing in the world of terror. There's no building or development for, I guess, nothing with a payoff that I've seen so
Yeah.
far. Even the individual and group story arcs, there's nothing with a payoff.
And not enough action for you to have a busload of people. I thought the reason why they had the busload of people pull up is so that there would be more fatalities. Like, oh, okay, we'll have a busload come up so
Yeah.
that way we can have more fatalities and the story will move along faster. But
Exactly.
no, they just sitting around Colony House.
No. And, we're waiting for this wedding, but if it's not a
Mhm.
bloodbath at this wedding,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Again, Game of Thrones, that red wedding.
we have to have it. You mentioned wedding in a horror scenario,
Mhm.
and you know what's up.
Yep.
yeah, because I think some people were talking about like episode 7, and and I was like, oh, it was entertaining, and it was more than we got like the past couple episodes or whatever. But
But
I
it
but I
wasn't just like,
yeah, yeah. I needed to see, like, I feel like we at least need to see another vampire do its thing.
Mhm.
Like, how come we can't we should have at least somebody an episode getting killed, especially you got a bus
yes.
full of people. Even
Mhm.
if it's a quick scene, somebody getting dragged and screaming into the night,
And I get it. We don't get to the nighttime all the time, but damn,
Mhm.
at least either start us at night or end us at night so we can get some depth
Mhm.
now.
And
yeah.
they established that the creatures can disguise themselves as anyone. So why wouldn't there be one or two people on that bus that falls for that? That, oh, that's my cousin, that's my mother outside the window.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially when they don't know and they don't
Mhm.
believe,
Mhm.
so I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. Kira says its season finale will be the wedding. Tabitha about to tell Ellis about the baby. Then all hell breaks loose. Yeah, yeah. I agree. I feel like now that may be an emotional scene, when she tells him.
Do you see the
Um,
the post Kira put before that one?
Oh yeah, in the season with
no.
another.
Another bus.
No. That's how it will be.
Mhm.
No.
More characters not to develop.
You
Yes.
see, I'm still pro hot air balloon. A couple
Mm,
a couple characters coming down from a hot air balloon. I just want to see people come in interesting ways.
yeah. You could do a hand glider.
Yes, yes, hang glider. I love it. I love it. And you just see them wearing like bell bottoms, and they're just like, what's going on? Like give me make it fun. If you guys are gonna just draw this out, at least make it fun. At least make it fun.
Crossover episode
Yeah.
between Yellow Jackets and this. You have a plane crash with, with a soccer team.
With a soccer team.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Hmm. And the soccer team decides we're just going to eat the vampires.
Yeah. So y'all, I found the descriptions for the rest of the episodes for the season.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know the titles of the episode 9, which is the
Mhm.
one after I just read.
Mhm.
Episode 9, panic spreads through town as the residents face a chilling new threat to their survival.
Oh shit.
Jim realizes the magnitude of the mistake he made by enlisting Randall in this cause.
Ooh.
Mhm.
The final episode. Boyd fears he may have finally run out of answers as the residents of the town prepare for the end. Tabitha clings to the belief that the children could be the key to their salvation. I don't know what the hell is happening.
Yeah. Episode 9 sound like it's gonna be
It gave me
ones.
it gave me fever. I didn't want to read it. I probably should have typed it first.
Mhm.
But I was like, oh.
Yeah, we gonna get a hell of a cliffhanger for episode 8. I feel like episode 8 is gonna give us a nice cliffhanger.
But why is the town fearing for the end? That sounds cataclysmic.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure what other entity they would bring in, because we've seen, like we said, we've seen the spiders. Unless that would be wild actually if the spiders attack the wedding. That would be
Oh yes,
that would be
that's
something
guaranteed
nice.
bloodbath. Yeah. It made
Mhm.
me think about he enlisted Randall for help, so maybe they pissed off the gods again. And
No, I think Randall's going to do something because of his temper.
Of
He's
course.
gonna,
What
or
if
his
they
temper
do?
and his patience are his weaknesses. And
Yeah,
it's gonna be a scene where Jim is like, just hold on, and Randall's like, no, fuck it, I'm doing this. And then
something to do with that fucking drone. Like,
Mhm.
hold it steady. Like, no, we're gonna go. Like, he's gonna do something real
Mhm.
random-esque, and that's gonna fuck it up for everybody. And that's why Jim is gonna sort of second guess his involvement. Or we find out that Randall actually is the special agent,
Mhm.
the secret agent.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that made me really nervous when I read about the magnitude of the mistake he made in listing Randall to the cause.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. I'm excited. Especially for episode 9. Like you read the little 2 sentence, it's got
Mm-hmm.
me damn. Now I want episode 9. Give me 8 and 9 back to back.
You
Give
know
me 8
what?
and 9.
If this show did like Netflix and released the whole season, then it
Mhm.
probably would feel better, like to binge versus a week to week, since it's not that much reward
Mhm.
to get the
Yeah.
full story. Like, oh, okay, cool, that was a great story.
Well, but they wouldn't get 2 months out of me.
No,
MGM
Mhm.
they would not.
GM Plus is like, I need 2 months out of you.
At least.
At least, at the very least, I need 2 months out of you. So it is what it is.
A prison bus.
Wow, a
Yeah.
prison. Wow, a prison
Or
bus.
just the new black.
Mhm.
Now that would be wild. That would be wild.
Yeah, a women's prison bus.
Yeah, yeah. That a women's prison bus, or like I guess if they were near the water, I would want a boat to pull up.
Mhm.
Some
Oh,
sort of like yacht. With people on it.
we haven't experienced any large bodies of water that they may be around.
No, the closest they had was a small pond that
Elgin.
Elgin, yeah, he asked about the water because in his vision he saw water.
Oh, was that in the bathtub
No,
vision?
no,
Oh
no.
man.
When he first got there, he asked about a pond, and I forget her name. Julie, I think Julie walked him over and said, "Oh, there's a pond over here." And he's
No,
like, "Yeah, that's the one for my." I think it was Julie that walked him over.
I thought it was Fatima, but I was
Oh, it
in
might have been.
Jefferson.
It might
Is
have
the
been.
bathtub that vision?
Oh, could
Hmm.
be.
If Elgin's dead in the beginning of the next episode, I'm over this. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be over it. He would be a great ghost, though. So
hmm
Oh yeah. No, Elgin would make a good ghost. Especially because are you still like clairvoyant on the other side?
help us,
Yeah,
Carolyn and
yeah.
Gina.
Help
I'm
us.
not in.
Kira says there's a lighthouse from how far Boyd got, maybe
hmm
water somewhere.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah,
at the end of
true.
season 1, it sure was.
hmm Yeah, because lighthouses are always by the shore.
Yep,
Wow. Yeah.
They're
Well,
literally their purpose, I think, is to warn the boats that they're getting too close to the
that's
shore.
exactly
So if they
what their
see,
purpose is. Yeah.
yeah.
and
You
yet
know
some of
what?
them
A
have still
boat pulling up would
crashed.
be excellent. So now we can think about, can we leave? But probably
Mhm.
not, because it's probably the same. But a boat pulling up would be so cool. The set piece of that would be great.
Mhm.
I I mean I think like practically I would want like a yacht, but I think it would also be interesting if a cruise ship pulled up
Mm-hmm.
and just what that would look like. And you just got like 100 people walking off and just being like, all right, I guess we're here. We're here for the night. Then just mayhem, slaughter.
There's another unanswered question. The girl from the bus that was left in the woods with just the rod in her head.
Kelly.
Why did they leave her with the rod in her head? Like that, they don't usually leave people. They usually devour them. So why was she left there? Like, was that just a warning, like to play with them, or?
That's a good
It,
question.
that's a great question. Either their intelligence level is really high, or they're being ordered to do these things.
Mm,
It's no real answer. It could be either one of those. But I would want it to be more organic, like they intentionally did that to cause some type of mental, effect on people,
mhm.
as it did. because Boyd was like, her last name, the guy that I left behind at the war, Kelly
Yeah.
something, and what is the, sure. Well, we haven't circled back to that, so maybe it meant nothing.
That's the other thing. If they talk to each other as a group, they might find out what is it about us that we have in common that cause us all to be here. There's got to be something that we share in common.
Facts.
So maybe the whole experiment, if it's an experiment, the whole experiment is to maybe see what type of things do human beings have to be pushed to in order to actually cooperate with each other.
Now that would be, because every episode I feel like we're talking about how come they don't communicate, and for all we know, the people behind the screen are like, how come we're trying to get them to communicate with each other right now.
It's like the 9/11 thing where for, I don't know, maybe I would say a few months after 9/11 happened, all of a sudden everyone was just American.
Oh yeah.
For a good 3 months, everyone was just American. It wasn't I'm right leaning, I'm left leaning, I'm black, I'm white. It was just I'm an American for a good 3 months.
Yeah.
And it was only because of that, terror event that we felt that way, and then it dissipated. So is it the same type of thing where human beings have to be put into a certain amount of stress before we actually band together and work as a unit?
It's possible. It's definitely possible.
I mean, Jim builds games, so maybe this is just a game.
Mm-hmm.
No songs.
Wait, I thought he built roller coasters.
That's a game.
Oh.
Well, I guess a game for your nerves,
Mm-hmm.
for your nerves. But maybe this whole thing is like a metaphor for a roller coaster. They're just like, all right, we'll put you on the thrill, but really, you're safe to an extent. Well, maybe not.
I brought Jim into that because I think he would deliver a great secret agent speech. Like when he reveals who he is, he seems like he has that look that he would just click like, hey, I've been here the whole time. Victor does too, though. Victor definitely has that.
Yeah. I mean, somebody could definitely switch. Somebody could definitely switch everything up. I just need more people conflict. Like I need more people conflict. I need more vampires, even if you give me shadows, give me some shadows give me some shadow kills.
Oh yeah, for sure. Shadow kills would be great. I need kills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm like, damn, when are we going to? I don't know. I just felt like when that bus pulled up, I'm like, oh great, this season's gonna be outrageous, and I just feel like, when you go to like Universal Studios or Disney World, and they're like, get on this ride, get on the ride, the ET ride, and you're excited, but it's very slow. And you're just looking
the ET ride. You spend more time walking through that fake forest than the actual ride. The ride is like
the whole ride
forest is like 35 minutes walking through there, and then the ride is like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and they got the nerve to show me the same footage I saw like when I was a kid. Like they didn't switch the videos out. They got Will Smith in his 30s on the screen. It is what it is. Shout out to Universal Studios.
My fave.
Yes. But yeah, I
missed
think
the Jaws ride.
I missed the Jaws ride and Back to the Future. Yeah.
You know why they closed the Jaws ride?
Why?
It kept malfunctioning and people kept falling out of the damn boat.
What?
Because they were stupid. They were standing up, leaning over the banister. As many times they're told, don't do that. And one person almost died because when they did that and they fell in the water, there's like a mechanism where the shark comes up. Let me do this. The shark comes up over the mechanism this way, and it comes back down in the water. When the person fell out the boat, they almost fell underneath where the shark comes back down under the mechanism and drowned. So basically, it's just people being too stupid to just stay their ass in a seat.
I love that ride.
But it was a great ride. Yeah. The one in Universal Japan still has the shark ride open. I mean, the Jaws ride open in Japan because they can sit down in their seats.
Well, I'm glad I experienced that as a kid. I
Yeah.
think I went to see the one in Anaheim, California, and as a kid, and it was a time, the
Mhm.
King Kong, and just
Yeah,
Oh, that was
earthquake.
good. Yeah.
And did the one in
Twister.
California have the house, the Psycho house up on the hill?
Yep.
yes,
Yeah,
Yep.
that was
yeah.
nice. They took
And they
all
had
those
the
things
Twister
away.
ride too, right?
Yes, the
We just
Twister.
yeah,
You can't.
that was really fun.
Mhm.
See, I never saw the. Well, yeah, I never been on the Twister ride, but I think I've seen it. But I think my favorite ride there was the Jurassic Park ride, where you just like go through Jurassic Park and you're looking at the animals, and it's all, and you're in the water, and then
Mhm.
you climb up
Mhm.
the hill or whatever, and then you see the T-Rex, and he's popping down, and just when you think you're going, he's about to eat you. You drop all the way
Yes.
down.
I
Mm.
got
So
tricks on that ride because my friend went on the ride with me, and I said, "Oh, there's any," because I'm not a roller coaster person. I don't like drops. There's no drops. There's no drops. We go up there, see the T-Rex, immediate drop. I was so mad. It was still a fun ride though.
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's a relatively small drop, but it is a
Mhm.
drop nonetheless.
Yeah.
It definitely is a drop
And the Back to
nonetheless.
the Future ride. I don't know if
That's
they
my
brought that
favorite.
one
Yeah.
back. I think it
I
got
can't
Yeah.
replaced with the Simpsons ride. I don't know whether it's still like that.
I didn't
get
play
it.
the Simpsons. I just played the Simpsons had a ride.
Yeah, they got a
Yeah,
yeah.
they retrofitted the Back to the Future ride into the Simpsons ride, so it's basically the same ride, but instead of the Back to the Future projection, it's you're inside the cartoon.
Oh, that
Yeah.
okay. Now I have an attitude. I
It
Yeah.
love
was
the Future ride.
it was cool. Like I tried it out what was it last month or whatever. Like
Mhm.
it was cool, but I had to learn that those rides are not for me anymore. Like the whole the motion
Mhm.
rides, like I get fucking motion sick now. Back
Oh,
in the day I was cool, but now I might need to pop a Dramamine or something, you
Mm.
that's
know.
how I feel about the, Halloween Horror Nights. I love the scare houses, but the lines are too long. I just don't wanna stand up that I don't wanna stand up that long all night just
Hmm.
standing. I need a chair. I'm
That's
an
the worst
neighbor, I need
part,
a
right?
chair.
That's
I
definitely the
can't.
worst part.
Yeah.
Waiting in those lines.
And then the scare houses, you're walking through it. So you're literally just walk, at least with the rides, like during the day, you might stand in line for like a while, but then you're sitting down in most of the rides. But for the
Yeah.
scare houses, you're walking through the scare house. So you're just on your feet the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I haven't been there for Halloween Horror Nights. I gotta make it down there.
It's a lot of fun. Like they really do like movie level makeup on the actors that are playing in the different scare houses.
Wow. Wow. Yeah,
They used
that's
to have a place in Orlando called the Terror on Church Street where it was just a scare house that was open year round. And in there, they
wow.
had like one room would be like The Exorcist, another one was Freddy Krueger, and then the
Mm.
end of it would be Leatherface chasing you out into the gift shop. Like you run through this cornfield, and then it turns into a gift shop. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for the gift shops, especially
Mhm,
when it's horror. I'm
mhm.
like, all right, you got me, bastards, bastards.
I love
Yeah.
a good haunted house. My
Mhm.
favorite one was in New Orleans. It
Oh,
was,
I know that's nice.
oh my god, it was like attached to like a mausoleum, maybe. Yeah. And so they
Wow.
did orientation. It was like a living room, and he knocked on the wall in front of the fireplace, and the fireplace sort of opened to this door, so we had to sort of crawl under the fireplace, and then the mayhem began. Yeah, it was fun.
Wow. Oh yeah. Shit, I gotta make it to New Orleans now.
Mhm.
Mm.
Just walking
Halloween is
around the city, like, you can feel
yes.
something.
Halloween is so good.
Mm.
In the month of October in New Orleans is amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I gotta go. I've never been in October. I've always been in the springtime because my mother's people are from New Orleans, and so I always go and visit them. But it's I can't describe how it feels in New Orleans. It almost feels like you're not in America anymore. It feels like its own thing, like its
Yeah.
own.
Hmm.
It's got its own like essence. I don't know how to describe it.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. Mika says here in Mass Salem has some great haunted houses during
Oh,
Halloween.
yeah, I've heard.
Yeah,
You
I've
know
got
what
to
the
make
same?
it
I
to
grew up in
Salem.
Connecticut and never went up to Salem for Halloween.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, it's on my list. It's definitely on my list. I got to make it down there. It's I've got to visit more haunted houses.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
my
And actually, Atlanta has I think it's in the top 3. I think it is number 1. Netherworld is here. I went to that last year. We was in line for like almost 2 hours.
Is that one open year round too?
No, it's not year round. It's only during Halloween. But we were in line for like almost 2 hours. It was really fun, and of course, we got chased out by a chainsaw. And then that led into like this little town where they had like a foam party going on, and people on the street, and like all this other cool stuff.
Did you say a foam party?
A foam party. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they used to have those in Miami. I don't know if they still do, but. When I say used to, I'm always thinking of the before times, like before 2020, the before times. Yeah, that used to be a thing. I wonder if it still happens.
Yeah, Walmart being 24 hours. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I'm so mad. I have to go to Walmart during like day hours. That was my favorite thing, is to go at 3 a.m. There's nobody there. You're in, you're out. You get what you need.
Wow.
They need to bring that back,
please.
Yeah. 24-hour Walmart's other shit. 24-hour Walmart's other shit. We got Kira says, gotta come to Salem. You guys can crash with us. Yes. Hooking up with the community. I love it. I love it. You know. But yes, you know, I guess we're all excited, you know, for the next couple episodes, you know, for the end of the season. It's been a journey. It's been a long trek. I feel like this season has been that scene of the Book of Eli when Denzel is just walking through the desert, and you know he's got a few stops or whatever, but for the most part it's just walking through the desert and questions and stuff like that. I feel like that's how this season has been. So I'm excited for you know what the end, the quote unquote end, has in store for us, you know. Yeah, I hope episode 8 brings some heat, you know, because
Forest for the trees.
Yeah.
We know it's Jim and Randall driven. We know that they're gonna do that stupid experiment. We know the spiders are still out there.
Yes.
And we deserve for them to show up like 8-legged freaks in this damn town on the wedding day.
Just do it. Just do it, people. Just do it.
Ellis is already still hurt, so might as well just.
Yes. Daddy Ellis, just do it. Just
Daddy Ellis. Yeah. Maybe the blood of Boyd is still in him, and maybe it still has power. Yeah, that would be a cool find that he actually doesn't die. The blood. Yes.
I mean, listen. We got 3 episodes left. It's so many things, so many different ways that they could go with it. You know, I just hope they don't. I just hope it doesn't end with another cliffhanger. That it's just another question. Don't give me another question. Give me something. Give me something. I'm salivating over here. Give me something. You know. But thank y'all. You know, for another awesome episode. You know, I want to thank my co-host Tamon Kane, you know, for always, you know, showing up and doing our thing, and you know, just bringing that unique perspective that you bring. You know, I really appreciate it, man. You know, if you haven't checked out Tamon's work, you know, he's 1/4 of the Screen Kings, you know, and also he's an author. You know, he's just doing a lot. Tamon is just it's just one of those. Just go through his bio. He's stacked over there. He's stacked.
You got to stay busy. You got to stay busy.
Yes.
You want it. You got to stay busy.
Yes. And our special guest for the night, you know, Lady Shasha, you know, horror freak. It's always a pleasure, you know, when you stop by. You know, always a pleasure.
You. Yes. And I apologize for derailing the conversation. You know, I have ADHD real bad, and sometimes I'm here. Listen. I try to rein it in. I try.
I love it because every time I'm on a live with you, I learn something new. I learn some new information. So it's never like, oh my God, you know, she's like, no, it's always, I'm always learning new information, and you're always passionate about, you know, what you're talking about. So I do appreciate that. You know, if you have not checked out, you know, Lady Shasha and her work. What did I just watch? She's got some
Mhm.
awesome videos on YouTube, some reviews, some breakdowns. I'm always just like in awe of the amount of content that she has and just the consistency. It's just wild. So make sure you
Same.
follow her on her socials, Horror Freak and Hood Podcast,
Mhm.
and was it Coast to Coast? Coast to
Yeah,
Coast.
Coast to Coast Horror with Crystal and Shasha. Although
Yes,
we haven't
yes,
had very many episodes because we're still working on the Cabin in the Woods Film Festival in
yes,
Seattle. So that'll be
yes,
happening this August 23rd to the 26th. It's a two-part festival. There's one part that's in person in Seattle, and there's a second part that's also online. So whether you're able to travel to Seattle and come, sit in the audience at the film festival, we'd love to have you there. If you are unable to do that, there's also a part where you can view a lot of the content online and vote for the movies on in the film contest. So that
yes.
will be well, you can get most information from Cabin in the Woods Film Festival.com. Also, there's a Cabin in the Woods Fest Instagram. There's a Cabin Fest Twitter. If anybody is still on there, I haven't been because it is trash. Twitter is done. That dude just sorry. I think there's also a TikTok. I'm not sure, but aside from that, I'll be still doing stuff on TikTok. And this summer, I decided to do Summer of Slashers because I just wanted something to cheer myself up, and slasher movies always do that. But
Absolutely.
in addition to that, this month, I'm also going to try to work in there a few LGBTQ slasher movies because I've
Yes.
discovered some that are available on Tubi. There's a couple on Netflix. They're not as great as the ones on Tubi, and Shudder has a list as well. So I'm probably going to start with a movie called Hell, what is it called? Hell. Oh goodness, I'm drawing a blank.
Is it
Hang on.
Hellfest?
It's not Hellfest. I did Hellfest already.
Mm,
It's
that was scary.
Hellbent. It's called
Hellbent.
Hellbent. It's a LGBTQ queer horror, and I probably might pair that with May, and then I'll be doing a few black slasher movies to get us prepared for the Blackening, which is coming out
Ooh,
next
let's
Friday.
see.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because the
Yes.
Blackening is not the first black slasher movie. We have some that go even back to the '90s. Actually, I found one from the '70s that I didn't know about.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, and that's another thing, ladies and gentlemen. You follow Lady Shasha. She's gonna take you down the rabbit hole
Mhm.
of the history, and you're just gonna be well informed. You're gonna be well informed. So definitely make sure you check out everything she's got going on, especially Cabin in the Woods. Film festival. Really interesting stuff. I interviewed Crystal Connor not too
Mhm.
long ago, and the stuff that she was describing about the festival, especially in person, was just like wow, especially for the
Mhm.
first time. So it's
Yeah,
really a lot of passion put into this.
she's amazing. She is a award-winning horror author herself, and she's judged a lot of film festivals. She's often invited to be a judge in film festivals, and she decided that it's time for her to do one because she hadn't seen a horror-themed film festival that was done by a African American person. So she said,
Yes.
"Well, I might as well be that person." We've had other film festivals that are more drama or comedy based, but not a horror. And she might be putting some sci-fi in there too, but I think it's still
Oh, nice.
mainly horror. I
Yes.
almost forgot to mention I'm doing a few live streams this weekend. Well, I'm not doing them. I'm going to be on them. I'll be on with Rainbow Fright on Friday night at 7 p.m. We're going to talk about the Midnight Meat Train. I'm going to be on with Horror Retrospective at 5 p.m. on Saturday. I'm not sure what movie that she's got for us to do. It's like a watch along, and then at 8 p.m. I'll be on Psychobabble on Terrence Miguena's channel, and we're going to talk about the best horror FX. And he's also got some
Ooh,
great information about lesser known special effects technicians that have been women. Like I just found out from him that the person that created the creature from the Black Lagoon is a woman. I don't have her name offhand, but there was a woman that made that suit. So that's pretty interesting.
mm,
Wow. Wow.
If you follow my Instagram, which is at Horror Freak, which is horror and then FREQ, I'll have all the links there.
okay.
Yes, 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 most definitely. Most definitely. Make sure you check that out. I love Psychobabble. Love
Hmm.
Psychobabble. The stuff that they got going on over there. And thank you to the chat. Thank you guys for for hanging out tonight. You know, Jaleesa, Mika, and Kara, thank you guys for stopping by. Michael, thank you for stopping by. You know, everybody who was kicking it with us tonight. You know, Keisha, thank you for stopping by. You know, Kang, thank you for stopping by. Everybody for showing love. But that's been another episode. You know, we'll see you guys next week, next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and hopefully we'll have some shock, some jaw dropping scenes
Oh yeah.
to talk about. You know, but as always, it's been amazing. Peace, love, and horror, everybody, and we're out of here.